Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Mike, and on this channel we discuss all things about the American Akita breed. Now in this video, I'm going to discuss 5 reasons why the casual shopper should not consider the American Akita breed. Now I did do a short on this already, but the shorts on YouTube are limited to 60 seconds, and I was not able to elaborate much on the 5 reasons that I chose. So that's what this video is going to do. I'm going to elaborate a bit more about the 5 reasons why the casual shopper should not get the American Akita. It is also important to note that these are not necessarily the top 5 reasons, and nor are they the only 5 reasons. These are just 5 that I've encountered with my ownership of the American Akita breed, and so I wanted to share these to make sure that only the right people are purchasing the American Akita dog. So let's jump into it. All right, so the first of the 5 reasons why I would not recommend the Akita to the casual shopper is that they are a very independent-minded dog breed. Now, this means that they prefer to make up their own mind about things that they're doing. They are not as naturally obedient as many other dogs. They don't exist to please you. So where a Labrador or a German Shepherd or a Doberman Pinscher might be very quick to try to please their human and listen, and they give you their strong eye contact and they're paying attention, the Akita is not really like that. They're not very naturally obedient, and they don't exist to please their human. Now, this doesn't mean that they don't love their human. The Akita bond is actually legendary towards their family. They're very loyal dogs. They're among the most loyal dog breeds of all dog breeds. But they have a lot of self-confidence, they believe in themselves, and they prefer to make up their own mind. If you try to give them directions, they easily grow bored of listening to their humans and often decide to abandon those directions and just go about whatever they want to do. So to own an Akita means that you must have patience and you must give strong and consistent leadership, repetitiously drilling and rewarding obedience while correcting disobedience. This is going to be a lifelong commitment as well. There will never be a point that you reach to where you can say, oh, I can stop reinforcing this. The Akita is now a listening dog. That won't ever happen. The moment you stop being consistent and stop asserting your leadership, the Akita is going to see that weakness and they're going to take over and go back to doing whatever it is that they want to do. So this is a lifelong commitment to being a patient, strong, and consistent leader. Now, how to lead the Akita is best done through your energy and consistency over using word commands. So if you're the type of person that will say, buddy, sit, sit, sit. I said sit, no, no. If that's how you interact with dogs, it's not going to work with an Akita. It doesn't work with other dogs, but it's also not going to work with an Akita, especially so. You can almost relate it to a parent that is always telling their kid to stop, and they don't ever do anything to back it up. They just kind of keep repeating it as if saying it over and over is going to make it change. That's especially true when it comes to animals, and especially strong animals like the Akita. So you want to communicate more with energy. And that's actually how the animal kingdom communicates. They don't have words. They can't speak to one another, but all animals understand the energy the other animal's giving off. There'll be the prey animals behave differently, predator animals behave differently. There is a certain strength that will come from the type of energy that you're presenting. So you want to lead with strong energy rather than weak energy. And what do I mean by that? Well, consider a scenario that we all can understand. And let's say that you are in a room and someone enters that room and they're slouched, their shoulders are down, their eyes are not making strong eye contact, and when they shake your hand, it's very limp. That person doesn't have to say a word to you. You automatically are getting a sense of that person through their energy. That's exactly what I mean. And you can also imagine the opposite. You're in a room, someone barges in, shoulders back, chest out, very strong eye contact, and when they shake your hand, it's a strong grip. Without saying a word, you are already getting an impression about that person. This is what I mean by the energy that you exude. And animals get this. They see this more than we do. They're very, very much in tune with this. So you should always have strong energy when you're working with your dog. And you also want to make sure that they understand that you mean what you say. So when I work with my dogs, I do not like to repeat myself more than once. If I say sit and they don't sit, I'll say sit a second time, and I will stand up if I'm sitting down, or I'll take a step towards them to where I'm backing up my words with my body language, with my energy. And they most likely are going to get that message on that second time. Once I bring that my body language and once I bring my energy into the equation, they are immediately going to understand that much more clearly. So this is how you want to communicate, and you want to back up your words. If you have repeated yourself once and they still don't listen, that's when the corrections come. And corrections typically in the form of a touch contact, like that's going to mimic like a dog bite. Because remember, dogs communicate to each other with corrections through their mouth. If you ever see a mother dog correct a pup, they use their mouth. They'll make a sound and they'll do like a little bite towards them. That's how they communicate. And there's nothing wrong with communicating to your dog in the same manner. I usually do like a touch with my hand to their side or something like that, or maybe I'll do a quick snap of the leash and release it if they have it, or maybe even grab their collar and do a quick snap and repeat my command. So this is the type of leadership you need to exude whenever you're working with an Akita, and it needs to never end. You always want to have this strong body language, strong energy, and you do not want to sit there and repeat yourself. If you're repeating, then they're not going to listen to you because you don't back up your words. So you cannot have weak leadership. You want to have strong leadership to bring an independent-minded dog to heel. The second reason I do not recommend the American Akita dog is that they do not tend to be very dog-friendly. Now, I did mention in the beginning that every dog has a unique personality, so it's very possible you can end up with an Akita that is very friendly to dogs, very obedient, and goes against the whole grain of the breed. But that's not the breed standard, and if you don't know your dog's personality when you bring them into the home, then you're more likely going to get the breed standard than you are going to get the exception. And so when it comes to the American Akita, it is important to understand that they are not very dog friendly. They view themselves as a front of the pack dog. And what do I mean by that? That means the Akita feels more comfortable as a pack leader than a follower. So when they're around other dogs, they're going to regulate that pack. And regulating that pack means that they will correct with bites or even fights. And this is very common. And when you have a large and powerful dog like the Akita, their forceful corrections can cause damage or lead to a vicious fight. If that happens, the blame will likely come back on the Akita and back on you as an owner, and you will be responsible for such a situation. So it is very important to understand this and understand that it is extremely risky to take the Akita to a dog park or allow them to roam freely. It is best to keep them secure at all times. So if you are looking for the type of dog that you can just take to your friend's house and let run free, or say, hey, let's go meet this dog or that dog, or go over there and meet this dog, or play with a cat, not a good idea. You are taking a big risk and the responsibility is going to fall on you. So if you are looking for a dog and you want a dog that you can just have playtime with other dogs at all times, do not look at the Akita. It's most likely not going to happen. It could happen, but are you going to take that risk? What happens if it doesn't turn out that way? Are you going to get rid of them? So no, stay away from the Akita if this is what you're looking for. Now, if you are a solitary type of person and you just want a dog that's just going to have a relationship with you, is going to be secured and on a leash, and you're going to go out and do your adventures, great. That's kind of how I like to do things. But if that's not what you're looking for, and most people aren't, then stay away from the American Akita breed. All right, moving on to number 3, which is a big deal for a lot of dog owners, and that is the shedding. It is important to understand that the Akita is a year-round shedder, and that shedding can be quite intense. Now, most of the year, it isn't unmanageable. You can manage the shedding, but twice a year they will blow their coat, and when they blow their coat, that hair gets everywhere. It's very bad. I'm talking it's snowing in your home, hair on the couch, hair on the blankets, hair on your clothes, hair in your hair. It is everywhere, and it is going to be a daily occurrence of vacuuming. And their shedding when they blow their coat is so bad that you can pull with your hand clumps off them, and it won't stop. You'll be going and going and going, and that hair just keeps coming out. You could fill up a pillow with their hair, stuff it, and fill out the pillow to a dense level. It's incredible. You will never understand just how much they shed. And when they blow their coat, it may be a month-long process before it's finally blown. Then you might get about 4 months to where it's just typical shedding, which is more manageable. But it is a lot of shedding. So if this is not something that you want to deal with, do not get the dog. All right, now reason number 4 is not a typical reason you'll see in these type of videos where we talk about reasons why you should not get a breed. But this is one I'm going to list because it's one I've run into. And that is the challenge of getting a dog sitter for your Akita. So if you like to go on vacations without your dog, or you go out overnight sometimes, if maybe you're going out with some friends and you're not going to be back home, who is going to watch this dog? Now, we covered already a lot of the common issues that come with an Akita. So now imagine that going into the hands of a stranger who has to deal with this. They're not going to want to. If they have other pets, other dogs, if they are not used to having a big and powerful dog, these are the type of things that are going to be a problem in finding someone who can manage your dog. Boarding an Akita is not a good idea either. Again, they're probably going to withdraw because they're so bonded to you that a lot of times when you leave the Akita, they're going to be in a depressed state of mind. They may not even eat. They may go in a hunger strike. But even if they don't and you board them, they're going to probably withdraw or be very uncomfortable by the amount of dogs around them that they can't control. So it's not a happy situation for a dog like the Akita to be boarded. And a lot of boarding places won't even take the Akita. They don't want a dog like that. They don't want a dog that maybe is not going to respond well to a stranger handling them. Again, the Akita is not very fond of strangers. So if you are going to find a dog sitter, you're probably going to want to have someone the dog is very familiar with watch them, like maybe a parent or a sibling, someone who knows your dog and the dog knows them, and maybe they don't already have other animals unless they're already acquainted. So this is going to limit your options quite a bit. Whenever I go on vacation and I can't take my dog with me, which I like to take him with me, but if I can't, this is a big challenge. Luckily, I do have a parent who has an Akita, and I have a brother who used to have my parents' Akita, so they're very familiar with the process and they can handle them, and my dogs are fine there. But this is not normal. A lot of people are going to struggle to find someone that can watch the Akita. So keep this in mind, and if this is something that's going to be a problem for you, again, stay away from this breed. And now the final reason I'm going to list today on the reasons that a casual shopper should avoid the Akita is the special Akita bond. Now this may seem like an odd reason to not get the Akita, but I'll explain myself. So more than most breeds, the Akita forms a strong connection to their human. Usually one person, but it can be a family as well. But once they have that bond, they don't like to break it. They're extremely loyal. They don't really like other people. They tend to be aloof and uninterested and even depressed when they're around other people and not their humans. So the reason why this is not a good reason to get an Akita is if you are not prepared for one, you bring an Akita into your home and then you can't keep them. You end up surrendering them to a rescue center or back to the breeder themselves. You're severing that connection the Akita made. Once they're separated from you, they're going to go through kind of withdrawals in a way, and they're going to have their heart broken. So this is not a dog like a Labrador or a Golden Retriever that's going to love everyone they meet. The Akita loves you, and they don't really like other people. And it's going to take them a long time to warm up. So imagine the Akita's surrendered to a rescue, and then a stranger comes in that they don't know looking to buy another dog or bring another dog into their home. The Akita is not going to be very friendly, so it's going to be harder for them to be adopted. And even if they do get adopted, it's going to take them a long time to warm up to another person. They're still going to be wondering where their special person is. This is not a good thing to do to a dog like the Akita. So this is a big reason for me. If you are not confident that you can handle an Akita, and if you're not dedicated to making sure that you become that good owner to an Akita, do not get one. Do not allow them to form that bond only to have it severed. It's a harsh thing to do to any dog, but especially harsh to do to a dog like an Akita. So there you have it. There are 5 reasons why I think the casual person should not get the American Akita breed. Now, there are a lot of reasons why you should get an American Akita breed, and I will be listing those in a new video coming up soon. I will call it 5 reasons why you should get the American Akita breed, and I will discuss those reasons there. They are not for everyone, but those people that do really want one and they're determined to be a great owner, I will create a video describing why I think they're an amazing breed. And so that'll be a fun one to do, and stay tuned, looking forward to that one. Anyways, that'll be it for today. Thanks for stopping by.